As we come back to the second segment of this edition of the hashtag Brothers of Baseball show, it is, of course, the family time. We are here. Well, two of us are anywhere. Mike is out. Anna is here. Hi, Anna. How are you doing, sissy?
Hey, Willie. I'm doing surviving the heat or trying.
Yeah, it is a lot of heat out there right now.
There is.
And I don't mean just temperature-wise. We talking about well, we'll get to that in just a second. Thank you guys out there for checking us out on Facebook, and of course, Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube for the BGC Sports Network, as well as the Locker Room Readout, and of course, the Twitter feed for the formerly known as Anna Banana, as well as the ShakeBack Media Group, and for Instagram TV. We see you guys out there checking us out. Make sure you guys go out there and subscribe to all of the platforms. Mike, as we said, is on assignment, and we wish him well. And his team probably this is not the weekend, or this is not the week, rather, the episode for Mike to be out, because he could have truly just gloated all over both Anna and I. But we're gonna get to that here in just a second. Before we move any further, this second segment, it is being brought to you by the Big Game Christian Sports Network. That is right. Thank you for tuning in to the hottest future forward online sports network in the collective galaxy, the BGC Sports Network, hashtag BGCSN1 and hashtag BGCSN2. And thank you for making us better. And with your feedback, please go to comments at BGCsports.net. That's comments at BGCsports.net. Leave your first initial and your last name, as well as your feedback. And don't forget, we are on Alexa. Stream us while you work, cook, or clean at home on Alexa by saying, Alexa, start BGC Sports Network, and check out BGC Sports for upcoming events and for schedules. And one thing I can tell you, Anna, that is on the schedule for the network is football tonight, as we are firmly entrenched into the training camps for the NFL. I can't wait to talk about the NFL with you guys. It's going to be so much fun. Okay. Anna, before we actually get to baseball, there's something that I need to do. On Sunday, rather, it was the anniversary of a union, and I'm going to put it on the screen. Maybe you can tell us who you think it may be. Look at those two right there. Do you know who that is? Let me do this. Let me blow it up. That is Willie and Patrice from 12 years ago today, or Sunday, rather. There we are, toasting to our new union. That cake right there is In the Zone Sports. That, of course, is the outfit that my brother and his friend Dwayne, or best friend, and our brother from another mother, Dwayne Sutton, was a part of. This is us again sharing the cake. This is the groom and the groom's mom at the groom for the dance. This is our youngest son, Blaze, as he is dancing with the bride. And you can flip those two heights because he is now taller than her. Just married. And of course, that's the mother in love. That is Patrice's mom, and she is doing what moms do. She is actually cleaning off her face from all of the cake that we ate on that day 12 years ago on Sunday. So very, very, very happy about that. It has been Guns N' Roses, let me tell you. But it has certainly been more roses than guns. So happy anniversary, babe. I love you to death. I love you to life. And I need you to get well soon, because you are my rib. And when you're sick, I'm sick. So let's get to that. All right. Any thoughts on those photos, Anna?
Oh, I love it. Thanks for sharing, and happy anniversary to both of you. I did not know that you two got married the day before my birthday. So that will be easy to remember for next year.
How about that? And happy birthday to Anna, because by the time the show is airing, we will be celebrating her birthday. So happy birthday to you, Sissy. And our hope and prayer is that you did something that was absolutely phenomenal in the celebration of your life. Okay, so let's get to some baseball, because I think it's time. And we always do the week that was. And of course, this is the first full week after the All-Star week festivities. And since Mike is not here, I think we should just go ahead and get him out the way, because his team did the best. Unfortunately for him, or unfortunately for us, that his team did the best. But fortunately for us, that he's not here to brag about it. So that's always a plus. But anyway, real talk though, the Philadelphia Phillies, they started the week off with the Boston Red Sox at the Big Bell in South Philly. And this is a Red Sox team, Anna, that was pretty hot coming after the All-Star break. They had won 10 in a row going into the break. Yeah. But then what happens? They go to Philly, not once, not twice, but 3 times they get beat. So they got swept in South Philly by the hashtag Ring the Bellers. So in your opinion, and not with Mike's nauseating Mike's nauseating commentary withstanding, how do you feel in terms of what the Phillies were able to do to a Red Sox team that has proven to be back into the race, and for a Phillies team that has been really inconsistent since, I want to say, since the end of June? Well, no, probably since the end of May.
Yeah, I don't know if this is more about the Red Sox or the Phillies, but it was definitely a good week for the Phillies. Good for them. They're definitely playing, better than they were. Will be intriguing because we are, since it's Sunday, we're only a few short days away from the trade deadline. So, they're with the Phillies surging, what kind of piece or pieces do we think that they're going to, add in to continue the surge? So something I think for us to keep an eye on.
I think it does a lot for a team that obviously is loaded with talent, but Aaron Nola has been a big disappointment all year long. And Zach Wheeler, you at some point you're gonna run your horse into the ground. And he hasn't really struggled in his last couple of starts, but he hasn't been nearly as dominant as he was in the first part of the year. Ranger Suarez has had some issues as well, but those are their 2 guys. And I believe the Phillies will make a move at the deadline, because as we know, their closer is going to be out for the postseason. So they need to get something in place now to fill that need when the season is over with. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely do. I just wonder, the premium right now for closers is through the roof. And, 2 of the main people that were being talked about were, Clase from the Guardians, Duran from my Minnesota Twins, and both of them are seemingly off the table. These are pitchers that are not super expensive, and they still have lots of club control left. 2-3 years, you don't just give someone up unless it's something huge. And what I continue to be seeing, just people commenting that the Twins are just asking way too much for teams to give up that. So who knows if that price goes down a little bit, but I just don't know, if the Pirates are willing to deal, a potential closer, but there isn't that many options out there to kind of take that spot for them. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And for the Phillies, I mean, we know what they can do at the dish. Their bullpen has been their Achilles heel in recent years. And even when you talk about, and we made fun of Craig Kimbrell in the last show. Well, we didn't. The Philly fans did when he was with the Braves, and he in that weird pitching motion whenever we were talking about windups. But I think the Phillies, man, look, them and the Mets, They have both been inconsistently consistent, and consistently inconsistent, like for the last 6 or 7 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
So it is going to take something of they're going to need an injection of energy, if you will. All right, let's move to the Minnesota Twins. I know you're so anxious to get to the Twins and what they were able to do this week. So I'm going to let you have the floor and you just give your take on what the Minneapolis/St. Paul Twins did.
We started off last week with, the Dodgers, and I wasn't even sure we were going to win one game. We won one, had a chance to win a second game and win the series, and ended up kind of losing on one of those, umpire calls that shouldn't have happened. Now, don't get me wrong, there are other things that led up to that point, but it was all over Twitter, all over the internet. Mookie Betts check swung on what should have been called third strike, and it was not called a strike. And he almost went all the way around, by the way. That would have ended the game. The Twins would have won. Instead, that was not called a strike. It was called a no swing. Then there was an infield single, walk to someone that shouldn't have, and then they intentionally walked Ohtani, which I'm 100% on board with. But then they walked somebody that it was his first walk of the year. Like, come on, and then a bloop single, a play that Harrison Bader didn't make that we've seen him make many more that were more complicated, and that's not on him. But we ended up losing that game. So took one of three. From the Dodgers, and then we only won one game of three against the Nationals. Our pitching is a little bit in shambles right now, kind of just every time you look up, another starting pitcher is injured, and that's hurting us, and we just don't have enough to kind of fill in. The game on Sunday was a bullpen game. It got away. I think that needs to be banned for life, I swear. No more bullpen games. But anyways, 2 wins on the week. I need to get back into the mindset and really, really know the team is mediocre. I said that weeks ago. I was fine with it. But then we keep doing these little things that make me think we almost won 2 from the Dodgers. Maybe we're not as bad as I think. And we're not terrible. We're just not a great team. And then I'm going to, again, shift my focus to just enjoying, what's happening when it is, and try to enjoy the rest of the season here as much as I can.
I think it's important that we realize that for those of us that are fans of teams that are either out of it, sitting on the bubble, or whatever the case may be, with the probability of not making to the postseason, as fans of the sport, that is when being a fan of the sport becomes just as important as being a fan of a team, because being a fan of the sport, it shows that you're going to continue to be engaged because we love the sport just that much. And speaking of the sublime in the Phillies to the ridiculous in the Twins, and even the more ridiculous in the Sacramento Athletics. And I'm going to get to this because this is what I teased in before we actually came on, as we have 4 minutes left to go in the segment. The A's started off the week with being swept in Arlington by the Rangers. And by the way, can we give it up for the Rangers, because they're playing some outstanding ball. I talked to Julian Barnes, who's one of my Deacon brothers at the big ACC in Irving, Texas. He's a crazy Rangers fan, and he was like, man, we're coming along. I said, yeah, you guys have everything that a team needs to be in competition for a deep playoff run. Your offense for the entire season has yet to catch up with what the pitching staff has done. And I do believe Jacob deGrom is going to be a comeback player of the year candidate in the American League. But the A's dropped three straight in Arlington, and then head to South Texas to Minute Maid Park, right there off the 59 freeway in downtown Houston. And all we do is go in there and do what? Get 1, 2, 3, 4 strikes, and they're out of here. And we sweep the first place Houston Astros, a team that ranks up there for me as who I hate the most: the Yankees, the Patriots, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Dallas Cowboys. So And and this is what I wanted to get to. And whatever we don't finish over here, we'll finish over there. What I was saying off air was we can say things like we had a good week, but in baseball, is it really that good of a week? Because just because you swept the team at the end of the week and you get swept at the beginning of the week and you're already under 500 or in last place, so you basically have only made up one game for the season. That's why I say it was okay.
Yeah. Well, you're not wrong. I'm just trying, like I was, saying, for me, at this point, I need to focus on that sweep instead of getting swept kind of thing to keep my sanity for the rest of the season. So, no, I'm with you. Meaningful, to the team, you're right. You made up a 1-game difference, but it's also fun to see your team play well and to win. And so that's my goal for the rest of the season and just moving forward too, because it makes the game more enjoyable.
Indeed. And I think really for both of our teams, I mean, probably the A's more so than the Twins in terms of youth. I mean, we got some studs that are either rookies or second-year players or within their 5th year. And I think once everything gets in place in Vegas, man, the A's, I think if everything gets in place or when everything gets in place in Vegas and the A's don't go back to being the A's that played in Oakland and act more like of a team that's in a bigger market and can like sign players and not let players go, I think the A's will be in some serious competitive battles in the next 3 to 4 years. And that may seem like a short time for some, but for people that's my age, look, we ain't got all day.
It feels like forever. Hey, what about that Nick Kurtz performance?
Yeah, that was part of my my 4-bagger in the first segment, because how often have we seen a dude go 6 for 6 with 4 home runs in the same game?
Like never, pretty much.
Yeah. A lot of people were saying that it was the greatest offensive performance in the history of the game. And we've seen some good ones over the years. As a matter of fact, they were saying that about, I can't remember who it was, but I think it was Aaron Judge last year. He had done something ridiculous like that. And then here you come again a year later with the rookie, and the same thing happens again. So that was part of my 4-bagger in the first segment. So yeah. All right. So we're going to come back on the other side of the break after we mute our mics and turn off our cams. We're going to get to the power rankings at some point and the hashtag look ahead. There's Anna. Mike is on assignment. I'm Willie. Y'all come back and holler at us.
Welcome, everyone. Calling ages K through 6th grade, boys and girls. This year's Dragon Youth football camp, July the 28th and the 29th at U Elite. 8 a.m. start time to 11 a.m. Hosted by Lockdown Academy and Mo Claiborne. Come hang out with me and my guest coaches. Beat me there.
Life can get overwhelming, but you don't have to navigate it alone. At Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions, we specialize in helping women like you to regain clarity, confidence, and control. I'm Patrice Epting, a certified life coach, here to walk alongside you through life's toughest moments, whether it's relationships, mental health, or building a stronger mindset. Together, we'll create a plan tailored just for you to step into your best self. Take the first step today. Visit Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions by calling for your free consultation at 469-358-5241. You're strong, capable, and deserving of the life you dream of. Let's make it happen together. Visit Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions by calling for your free consultation at 469-358-5241. Whether it's relationships, mental health, or building a stronger mindset, visit Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions by calling for your free consultation at 469-358-5241. Don't Jump Life Coaching Solutions.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back to the third and final segment of the hashtag Brothers of Baseball Show. It's your boy Willie Epting Jr. and a banana. Mike Fuji, the Rocky Balboa of the family of baseball and the ShakeBack Media Group. He is out right now, but we send him our well wishes. Anna, we're going to wrap up the show real strong, real quick here in just a second. Shout out to the big homie, Morris Claiborne. He is putting on a clinic in South Lake, Texas, as you may have saw in the commercial there. Yeah, bring your kid. Well, I'm thinking you have to register, so it's probably too late at this point. But we want to show him love. I will actually be on the scene with Mo and some other the former NFL players out there. Of course, Mo was, I think, the 5th overall pick by the Dallas Cowboys a while back, Jim Thorpe Award winner, and a Super Bowl champion as well with the Kansas City Chiefs. I hate them, but that's another story for another day. You know what? It's always good to make Anna almost spit her water out all over the screen, but I don't want her to electrocute herself. So, all right, enough of that. Let's get to the third and final segment. It is being brought to you by Lake Crest Casino and Hotel. Are you looking for a relaxing getaway where you can play all day and escape the tedious grind of life? Then plan your getaway today at Lake Crest Casino and Hotel, Ardmore's premier gaming destination, and let the winning begin. Featuring more than 1,000 of the latest games, plus an array of amenities, including an incredible restaurant, exceptional retail experiences, and a resort-style pool. Lake Crest offers everything you need for an unforgettable escape and a winning experience. Book your stay today and go all in on one of the most exciting destinations. That is Lake Crest Casino and Hotel. Visit lakecrestcasino.com. Again, that is lakecrestcasino.com. Tell them that your folks at the hashtag Brothers of Baseball, the family of baseball, the ShakeBack Media Group, and the BGC Sports told you to holler at them so y'all can set it off on getting your relaxation and winning on. Okay, the Universe Galaxy. Hey, how can I join your panel then? I don't know when then is. Anna, any idea of when is then?
No, I'm not really sure what they mean.
So Galaxy, the Universe Galaxy, if you can tell us what you mean by when, then I'm sure we can work something out, because this is a party. It's always a party, and we are always inviting other people to the party, especially those that love baseball but love life itself. Okay, I'm asking if I can join your program right now. Then, okay, unfortunately, not this episode, but stay tuned. We do the recording every Sunday at 5:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So if you want to get down with this, all you can do is just go to ShakeBack Media Group, SHKBKMediaGRP on Twitter. Send me a DM, and we'll get the link out to you so you can join us for some fun in the sun. Although we are all indoors, but it is hot out there too. So, all right, Anna, let's. We did the week that was for our teams. We're gonna talk about Ichiro and CC and Billy Wagner and Dave Parker and Dickie Allen here right now, because they are now, of course, enshrined in what I have been corrected as not immortality, but immortality. Immortality. So, Anna, I mean, we talked about this before, but now it's official for all these guys. Your thoughts real quick on these guys as far as they're being etched in baseball lore forever.
I mean, just collectively, it blows you away just to see kind of all the feats they accomplished. I mean, just so broad, between, the three kind of like the elected in players by the, writers, and then the other group. Ichiro Suzuki to me sticks out as just, he's not always in that conversation for everybody, but he's definitely one of the best, that's ever played the game, just, holistically, and everything that he accomplished and did. And I don't know, it makes me feel old in the sense that I was watching him when I liked baseball when I was a lot younger, and now he's being, he's in the Hall of Fame. So what does that say about me? That I'm getting older, I guess. But happy to see that for them. And
keep going. I know you're reading.
It's happy to see that for him and for them. Billy Wagner, just made it in by the skin of his teeth, I suppose, if you want to put it that way. Because this was his last year of eligibility, but people kind of thought he'd get there. And, people have sort of made a big deal in different parts about whether or not it makes, somebody gets in like first ballot versus the last eligibility, if there's a big difference. I mean, they still made it in. So at the end of the day, that's, a great thing. So, Hey, better late than never, right?
Yeah, most definitely. And for the late great Dave Parker and the late great Mr. Allen, they get in. I can't pronounce the word how do you say it?
Posthumously. It's something like that.
Anybody out there want to help us with that word that we cannot pronounce?
You need to put it out phonetically so that we can.
Yeah, but yeah, so real quick opinions on those two late great players themselves.
Well, I guess kind of what I just said about Wagner kind of applies. Better late than never. It's a bummer, Dave Parker just passed away, like a month ago, so it's sad that he's, doesn't get to be there for it, but it doesn't mean that they're still being honored. They're not going to get to see it, but their families will. And, everybody moving forward who visits will, and they'll be remembered, for their contributions to the game and in the great Hall of Fame. And that's, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Dave Parker had one of those batting stances that I used to try to be a switch hitter. And when I would bat left-handed, I would circle my bat the way that he did. And that dude was 6'5" and about 250. He could run like the wind and had a cannon for an arm. And he had I think he had one of the highest seasons of the most outfield assists in the history of the world. And that is very hard to do, especially when you're playing in right field, because it is so much further from the plate than center field or even left field for that matter. So congratulations to all of them. I know I saw it was, I think it was Mr. Allen's wife that presented him on Sunday, and CC Sabathia, he talked about how his wife and family, what they did or what they meant to him. And, CC battled a lot of like addictions throughout his career. So he is the epitome of a ShakeBack story. And we congratulate all of them and their families on this incredible, incredible honor. Okay, big day. You're in the background, and even though the people that are watching can't hear the music, Anna and I can hear the music. So the music is the power rankings and also just a bit outside. So you have the top 5 in the AL, top 5 in the NL. You have just a bit outside in both leagues. And then we have the top 10 in the majors. And Mike was so gracious enough to send in his text messages or his text message with his power rankings. So big day, if you don't mind, I can hear the music in the background. So thank you very much. Let's go ahead and get to it. Power rankings, top 5 in the American League. Anna, go.
Toronto Blue Jays at the top. Houston Astros, Detroit Tigers, New York Yankees, and Seattle Mariners.
I like that. I like that. I'm not Kirk Cousins, and don't sue me for he was in Minnesota when he was in Washington when he did that. Yeah, okay. So
in Washington.
So one more time, Anna.
Toronto, Houston, Detroit, New York, Seattle.
Okay. And his top 5 goes as such. He has the Yankees at 5, the Tigers at 4, the Astros at 3. No. He has the Mariners at 5, the Yankees at 4, the Tigers at 3, the Astros at 2, and the Blue Jays at 1. Mine is a little different, but not really. I got Boston, New York, Houston, Detroit, and Toronto in the top 5. All right. Hashtag Jabo, just a bit outside for you, Anna. Who you got?
I have the Red Sox, the Rangers, the Rays, and the Guardians.
The Red Sox, the Rays, the Rangers, and the Guardians. Okay. Mike's just a bit outside. He has Rangers and Red Sox. For me, I have Cleveland. I'm going to be in Cleveland in a couple weeks. Tampa Bay, Texas, and Seattle. And for top 5 in the National League, let me give Mike's. Mike has the Phillies at 5, the Cubs, the Dodgers, the Brewers, and the Mets at the top spot. Your top 5, Anna, go. National League.
Brewers at number 1, Cubs at number 2, Dodgers at number 3, Mets at number 4, and Phillies at number 5.
Say that again.
Brewers, Cubs, Dodgers, Mets, Phillies.
Okay. And you're just a bit outside?
Padres, Giants, Reds, and Cardinals, although the Cardinals could kind of fall out at this point, but they're still kind of there.
I think it's going to be interesting to see what the Cardinals do, especially if they decide to move Sonny Gray. That's going to be big.
They just moved Eric Fetty, so who knows who's next or what's next.
Yeah,
that to me is a sign that you're waving the white flag, but we'll see.
But they moved him to the Braves, so how much of a white flag are they?
Yeah, really well, that's true.
So, okay. So for me, my National League, I have the Phillies at 5, the Dodgers at 4, Milwaukee at 3, the Cubs at 2, and the Mets at 1. My hashtag Jabo is the same as Anna's. For Mike, we already did his top 5, but his honorable mention, or did we? No, we didn't.
Did his top 5, but not his Jabo.
Okay, yeah, his Jabo is the Reds, the Padres, and the Marlins. That's respect, though. I get it, and it'd be interesting to see if the Marlins move former Cy Young Award winner Sandy Alcantara. Okay, so let's get to the top 10. We got 2 minutes left to go in the show. Mike's top 10. We have the Blue Jays. The Yankees, the Mariners, the Tigers, the Phillies, the Mets, the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Brewers, the Astros, and the Blue Jays. Who's yours? Top 5 or your top 10 in the majors?
It's close. Blue Jays, Brewers, Cubs, Dodgers, Mets, Phillies, Astros, Tigers, Yankees, Mariners.
One more time.
So I read 1 to 10, starting with Blue Jays, Brewers, Cubs, Dodgers, Mets, Phillies, Astros, Tigers, Yankees, Mariners.
Now, see, I'm going to throw a wrench in it because this is crazy. Number 10, I have the Red Sox. Number 9, I have the Yankees. Number 8, I've got the Padres. Number 7, the Phillies. Number 6, the Dodgers. 5, Milwaukee. 4, the Astros. They just got swept. Number 3, the Chicago Cubs. Number 2, wait a minute, something's off. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna take San Diego back out, and I'm gonna put the Dodge. I'm gonna put the Phillies at 8, and then I'm gonna slide Detroit in at 4, and then you have Houston at 3, Chicago at 2, the Mets at 1, and they're gonna be tied. Or I actually have the Toronto Blue Jays at 1. So I got one too many teams in there, but it's all good. So it's the top 11 for Willie.
Hey, I had 9 a few weeks ago, so it all balances out, right?
Right. Well, I mean, look, I guess as the facilitator of the show, sometimes you just have to make up rules as you go along. Okay. So with that being said, speaking of rules of the show and facilitation and all that, I'm about to facilitate the end of this show because that is where we are. All right. So for baseball fans all over the planet, there's Anna. Mike, get back soon, man. The dopest engineer in the game, Big Day. This is Willie. Y'all stay safe. Y'all hug each other. Y'all love each other. And I promise it's going to be all right. And we will talk to y'all again real soon. Peace. We out.